For the E-Tron project, we had to incorporate every single bit of knowledge and expertise that we as a department had in both the fields of aerodynamics and aeroacoustics. My name is Moni Islam, and I'm the head of aerodynamics and aeroacoustics development at Audi.
In terms of aeroacoustics, an E-Tron has similar problems than a conventional cars, and we have learned to solve these problems over many years. My name is Gerhard Wickern. I'm doing aerodynamics at Audi for the E-Tron project.
Aerodynamics plays a key role in the case of electric vehicles, the driving distance of the vehicles. And aeroacoustics is very important because it's essential for the noise level inside the car.
The Audi wind tunnel, when it was starting, it was an industrial wind tunnel with ground simulation, so a moving round underneath the car, before only used in Formula One. Or because our wind tunnel is so silent, we are able to develop more silent cars.
The sound of silence is actually a really important concept for us in aeroacoustics development for the E-Tron because it doesn't have a combustion engine. It's extremely quiet. So that means that all other noise sources will be all the more prominent. So we set ourselves the target of making a really, really quiet vehicle for the E-Tron.
The E-Tron was a very interesting project for an aerodynamicist. It was a rare chance to start with a white paper. And you get a lot of things as an aerodynamicist you always dream of.
I think one of the unique things about the E-Tron is that it has this very sporty, very coupe-like silhouette, which is quite uncharacteristic of an SUV. One of the very fundamental reasons it has this shape is that the aerodynamics require it. Since the E-Tron is a fully battery electric vehicle, it gives us as aerodynamicists quite a number of possibilities that we can work with to generate an aerodynamic optimum. First off is the fact that we have a closed and a flat underbody, which is the dream of every aerodynamicist.
On an electric car, there's a large area which is smooth and flush anyway because it's the undershield of the battery. And for the rest, so under the axles, we have designed nice covers which are equally flush to the battery underside.
We have another feature like the active inlet shutters, which allow us to restrict the flow of cooling air to configurations only where it's needed.
An electric car needs much less cooling than a conventional car, so we have a cooling shutter which closes.
We have the inlet ducts at the front side of the vehicle, which allow us to channel air in a very efficient way from the front to the side of the vehicle. We have included acoustic damping glass, which basically filters out the important frequencies of wind noise. We took the best of everything that we had in our toolbox and we developed it into this vehicle. And the result is what you see now, or actually better, what you hear now. It's an extremely quiet vehicle, and it's one of the quietest vehicles in its class.
The E-Tron project was very, very special because for Audi, the E-Tron is definitely a milestone. Yeah, my name is Philipp Römers. I'm head of Exterior Design Studio 2, and in my team, the exterior design of the E-Tron was done. The E-Tron is the first full electric vehicle for Audi, and that's why everybody from the Audi design team wanted to take part on this project.
It has some similarities to other Q models, but definitely it brings a new language since we are talking about electrification for the first time. My name is Juan Carlos Huerta, and I'm exterior designer in Audi Design.
The E-Tron project is a really special project for Audi, and it was absolutely exciting to be part of that. My name is Stefan Farbecker, and I work at Audi in exterior design.
For the first time, we have a really characteristic grille design for this electric car. It's not so high like normally, and it's quite wide. It's really dominant.
It's mostly closed. That's where you start seeing this in an electric car.
We don't need the normal air from a combustion engine car, so we could cover the single frame and brighten it up, but at the same time, it shows that the car is still an Audi.
We wanted to point out where the power comes from.
The rocker is the heart of the E-Tron actually, because it features the battery. The heart is not sitting under the bonnet anymore. That's why we created a very special design also to emphasize that there's something new.
We had to pay much more attention to aerodynamics, even more than we normally do, because we do everything for the range.
We created an architecture with a roof line which is dropping down to the back, and in the same time it looks very, very attractive because it looks very sporty.
We have a shoulder line that is running all around the car, and it puts like a low center of gravity to the car, which is quite sporty. But then on top, the Quattro blisters or the Quattro lines, they sit on top. So it has this really robust and rugged feel to really emphasize that we are a Quattro brand.
One of my highlights is for sure the rear end. I like the way that the rear glass connects to the shoulder almost in one surface. It makes it really clean. And then we have this light band going all the way through the rear and a really, really nice diffuser.
Where the light band is ending on the outside, there's also a line that is going down. And this is also really good for aerodynamics to really break the wind in a controlled way and to reduce the drag that is taking place behind the car. It's important that the charging port sits at another place than a normal fuel cap would sit. And it's nicely integrated into the form. It's not just a cutout somewhere. It's really the shoulder line is going into it and it's nicely attached to the wheel arch. And what is super important for me is that it opens automatically. And when you pull out the plug, the lid will close automatically as well. I'm proud of the fact that this car looks really sleek. It's a modern but really quiet design somehow.
I'm really happy though. I think the result, it really speaks by itself.
I think that the electric vehicles will be part of our future mobility. This is typical Audi, when technology and design come together.
We wanted really to make something special. I think it's going to create a new way of using the car. New way of using mobility. My name is Thomas Pinel. I'm interior designer by Audi. This car is full of surprises. When you start to use it, then you understand why we did it like that.
We had a lot of thinking, a lot of brainstorming at the beginning. What could it be and how the electric car for Audi should look? My name is Vladimir Macoun. I'm the interface designer at Audi Design. We came to the theme of sounds of silence. Electric car, you have no engine noise, so it gives you new freedoms, and we wanted to interpret it somehow into the design. You have completely different emotion in this car. It's still a strong car. It has an amazing performance. It's like beautiful contrast between this huge power and this silence.
We have very fast lines. This car is definitely a sport SUV, and at the same time bring a lot of elegance in it. This is a car that we have to use. It's a car that has to be really comfortable.
We were definitely searching for the new identity for the electric cars. We were also inspired by this new technology. You know, you have this electric power, which is huge power.
We wanted to have a special signature. It's an unlighted signature. It's really telling you that you're getting inside this electric world. We have a very horizontal line. It's also a support with light. And this line, it's also kind of the horizon for our interior. Over this line is also the driving instrument. Underneath, it's more multimedia. It's what is sharing with the passenger. And I really like it because it makes this interior really clear.
The shifter of Audi E-Tron is completely new. It's integrated and it's floating. It's a part of the middle console. It's from the structure of the console. It's not a separate island. The shifter itself is just a little trigger. The difference is you are not shifting with the whole hand mechanically, like in the combustion engine cars. You are just shifting with smooth movement of two fingers.
It's part actually of our job to find the perfect balance between the use of the parts, the technology, how we integrate it, and what we want to give to the people.
I think at Audi we are obsessed with making things perfect. In the end, we managed to make something which was impossible somehow possible.
I've been dreaming for working at Audi my whole life. When I was a kid, why was I dreaming working for Audi? That was in 1984, when Audi founded itself through its success in the World Rally Championship, where you have Quattro and Michel Mouton winning with the Quattro, with the first Quattro. And this was the first moment of truth for Audi, the game-changing truth. And then, from the 90s onward, where Audi had again game changers. The Audi A3, which was the first premium compact car. It was the Audi A8 with aluminum space frame technology. It was the A7 where we founded the Sportback segment. And now it's time for the next game changer. It is the start of a new era, and it's an E-Tron full stop. The first moment of truth for the Audi E-Tron was on the 11th of December 2013. The very one thing that we decided was we knew we want to go into a large premium SUV. So this was from the very first beginning, a clear target. What I'm most proud of is that the Audi E-Tron is 100.0% an Audi. You will see, smell, feel Audi in its design, in its quality, in its workmanship, in its technology. In 10 years from now, we will talk about E-Tron the same we talk about Quattro. It will be in the heart, in the essence, in the DNA of Audi.
I think at Audi we are obsessed with making things perfect.
We go actually beyond what would be expected.
If someone says it doesn't work, it's not possible, we still try.
For Audi, the E-Tron is definitely a milestone.
It's the beginning of something new at Audi.
The biggest thing in Audi's history in the last 40 years.
We are convinced that electric driving is the future.
We had to incorporate every single bit of knowledge and expertise over many, many decades.
The sky is full of surprises.
Like the all-new brake system, air suspension, the first all-electric Quattro drivetrain.
It's a really big step forward. It leads the way to the future here.
It's these moments where you think it's something completely fresh, completely new.
And it was absolutely exciting to be part of that.
So the market is coming. It's just the right time to bring the E-Tron.
It is a no-compromise battery electric vehicle.
We have towing capacity, roof rails, a large storage capacity, just like you expect from an SUV.
Even imagine that an SUV can drive like this. It's an enormous feeling.
In the end, we managed to make something which was impossible somehow possible.
At the end of the day, it's 100% an Audi, and if you love Audi, you will really love that car.